This past weekend, I did something I almost never do. In fact, I don't remember ever doing it before. I don't remember there ever being a time in my life when I did it. And what I did was I sat and watched multiple tennis matches. I sat and watched the two finals for the US Open, the women's final and the men's final, and that's what I want to talk about here today. So quick reminder, I'm Elliott Connie, and this is the Therapist React series, where I address the mental health aspects of popular news stories. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I think psychology and our mental health are so important, and they're always in front of us in news stories and pop culture events, and I want to make sure that I highlight those so that you could have a better life and a better understanding of what's going on around us. And something stood out to me about both of these events. So I want to start with Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff, a young African-American woman who was tremendously inspired by the career of the Williams sisters, in particular Serena Williams, and she is now a US Open champion. Now, what happened during this event, or in particular during the trophy presentation at the end, her father was in the audience. It was this really cool moment of her interacting with her dad from the court. And her father was crying, and she said, I've never seen my dad cry, and he's crying and he's trying to not be looked at and the camera's on him. And she was like, it's okay, the camera caught you. And they had this very cool moment between a father and daughter. Like, I can't imagine the amount of pride that he must have had in that moment of her for having won, the bond that they must share. Unbelievable. And then Novak Djokovic, I think it says his name right, he won the men's final. Then when the match ended, he went through the crowd. Like, very first thing he did was he walked over to the side of the court and he motioned, and somebody brought him his daughter. And then security brought him to what they call the players box, which is where all of his people were sitting. Matthew McConaughey was sitting there for some reason, and then his coaches and family. And he hugged his son. He hugged his son really closely, really, really tight. And when you watch that, one of the biggest inspirations for people is family. One of the biggest inspirations that people have is their children and wanting to do things to make their children proud and wanting to do things to make their children look at them in a positive way. I think about that a lot because behavior change is actually difficult to accomplish. When we want to change our behavior, whether it's we want to stop using drugs or alcohol, or we want to be better decision makers, or be better with money, or whatever it is, you have to draw inspiration from someplace. But enough of us don't really think about where we get inspired from. One of the most powerful places to be inspired from is your family. And I watched both of these champions. I mean, to win the US Open, it's one of the tennis majors. It is very obvious that family inspires both of these people. In one case, it was the tennis player interacting with her father. In another case, it was the tennis player being a father and interacting with his children. It's hard succeeding. And it doesn't matter whether it's an athletic endeavor like tennis, or a business endeavor, or just life in general. Like, it's very hard to succeed. And if you want to be successful, you're gonna have to figure out a way to draw inspiration from someplace. I was watching these matches and I was just thinking, like, in terms of Coco Gauff's dad, how many tennis matches did he drive her to? How many tennis practices did he take her to? How many tennis coaches did he have to find for his young, she's still very young, I think she's just 19, but how many different things did he have to do to help create this moment? How many different early mornings and late nights? Like, the investment is very, very huge. And I know Coco Gauff must think about that when she is training and practicing and going about her life. And the same thing for Djokovic. Like, how many long nights of practice away from his family did he spend, all motivated to make them proud, all motivated so that they can be in a different financial situation, all motivated so that he can be an example. Family is one of the biggest motivators and one of the biggest things that helps us to achieve and succeed. And this was just an example from the athletic world. And it doesn't always have to be the athletic world. It can be anywhere. But if you want to succeed, if you want to be a champion, then find the things that are significant motivators, and family and love and support are often some of the biggest motivators we can tap into. I loved watching it. I'm not really a tennis fan. I'm not really someone that would sit around watching tennis, but I was staying with some friends and they're massive tennis fans, so I just ended up watching. And it was amazing. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. It's just not part of what I would normally naturally do in the rhythm of my life, but I enjoyed it a lot. But what stood out to me most was those interactions with family at the end of each match. And I hope you learn too how inspiring and motivating it can be to use family love and support. And it doesn't have to be your dad, it doesn't have to be your child. It can be cousins, aunts, uncles, just people who have loved and supported you. In my case, there are some non-family members that have been a tremendous source of motivation and inspiration to me. And once you have that, it becomes easier to accomplish great things. So thank you for watching this video. I love you guys so much for supporting the Therapist React series. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting that subscription button, and then make sure you hit the bell so you get notified each and every time we release a video. And also leave a comment. I would love to hear what you noticed when you watch these matches. I would love to hear what you thought of this video, so comment below so that we can interact. I love you guys so much. We post the Therapist React video every single day, Monday through Friday, and I would love for you guys to continue to support me. So don't forget, subscribe, hit the notification button so you get notified each and every time we post a video. Love y'all. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.